So my daily routine, I wake up, I take my pre-workout, I take one of the strongest ones on the market. I go to the gym. Today, after the gym, I went to Subzilla and I got myself one of the post-workout energy drinks. So I'm going to apologize for being so jacked and apologize for all the energy I'm going to throw at you talking about a movie that has rape, murder, baby violence, and all horrible things included. Killing Ground. Now, this has a 2016 date on it, but it is an Australian film and just made its way to Netflix. So I think a lot of our American audience may not have seen this one yet, so I'm going to go ahead and review it for you guys. This is another movie that it just tells me camping is a horrible experience for anybody. You go camping, you die, or horrible shit happens. So don't go camping, bottom line of the story. Or most stories and horror movies. But a happy couple goes out into the woods. They're going to go camping. They notice another family. Their tent and shit is set up right next to them. But they never see the family. Then some other people show up and some shit goes down. I'm going to keep this vague. Not that I think telling you any more would really ruin anything, but I'm going to keep it vague just for shits and gigs. So any kind of violence in this movie, the special effects are pretty bland, honestly. And I think that's a good thing for any of you guys that are visually, disgusted by a lot of movies. This isn't one that's going to, touch your buttons. Now, content-wise, as I said, it's got rape, it's got violence towards children, it's got some pretty deep shit. So if you're sensitive in any shape, way, and form to that type of shit, this isn't the movie for you. As far as the way the movie looks, it looks pretty great. It's out in the woods, so you got a lot of scenery. But they do this thing where everything still looks kind of dark and dreary. So even though, they're not in like Blair Witch Woods, but the whole feeling to the movie, accompanied with the people, everything still looks dark, and dark in a good way. And the movie also targets something that I think is like a primordial fear of most people, and that's murder just because. There's no revenge, there's no, murdering for money. It's just, you're here and I'm gonna kill you. And that, kind of like The Stranger, I think that plays to some people a little bit more because we always want a reason, and there's no reason to this. Now, I will admit, I did a time check at about 35 minutes, and I still wasn't invested into this movie. This isn't one where something happens right at the very beginning, and then things unfold later, it gets a little bit slow. It's pretty slow all the way up until about the 35 to 40 minute mark. But when shit hits the fan, shit hits the fan. So you might be a little bored like I was through the beginning part of the movie, but just wait it out for good things to come. Now, all the acting was done supremely, but I will say the main actress, the main chick in this movie, she annoyed the fuck out of me. And it wasn't like an annoyingly written character. I don't think she was supposed to be annoying. There was just something about her that annoys me. And that may just me being the asshole that I am. But maybe not. I thought maybe I'd forewarn you guys. I found her a little bit obnoxious. And another thing that kind of annoyed me about this movie, it does jump in time a little bit. And it's not a huge amount of time. It's just probably a few days. But there's no, you don't see it coming. It doesn't tell you it's coming. It just happens. And a couple times it's like, wait, what? What the fuck is this? And I pieced it all together, and it's not hard to follow, but just it jumping around sometimes, it was a little off-putting. But not only was it annoying, sometimes it was a little unnecessary. This movie isn't a long movie. I think it's exactly an hour and a half long, which is a perfect runtime for a movie. I don't think it needed to be any shorter, but some of those scenes in there, I couldn't help but feel the flashback scenes were just filler. Now, they wanted to fill us in on some of the characters' backstories, which is all well and good, but they weren't needed, and it did make this movie drag on a little bit longer than I thought it needed to. But mixed with everything, it's a hard fucking movie to watch. It's a hard subject. Murder itself is hard, but then, you got, like I said, the rape and the baby violence. It's hard to watch. But it is very climactic till the very, very, very end. And everything gets to a point, and you're like, fuck yeah, that was awesome. And then, the final, 3 minutes, you're like, oh. Okay, I guess that's the end. But if the final 3 minutes and then the first 40 minutes, which sounds like a long time, but I think everything that happens after that 40-minute mark makes it worth it. I'm going to say this is a solid film. It's not a great film. It's not a bad film. It's not even a meh film. It's a solid film. So if you can handle the touchy subjects, everything that I've mentioned, it's definitely a film to go to. And it is on Netflix right now. Another thing you guys should go to is Audible. Reading books is horrible, guys. I don't know how people who like to read, I don't know how you do it. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, and I'm not willing to do it. If you're also like me, go to audible.com and they'll read that shit to you. It's a multitasker's dream. Right now I'm listening to Turn of the Screw, and I've also listened to Stephen King's It to see how the book matches the movie. And I never actually had to sit there and read anything. Oh, it's fantastic. If you guys would like an extended free trial and a free credit for a book of your choosing, go to audibletrial.com/modernhorrors and we'll hook you guys up. Again, that's audibletrial.com/modernhorrors. And until next time, guys, I will see you later.